The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I'm Nikki Glaser. Brian Frangie is with me. Hi, Brian.
Hello. Hey, how's it
My
going?
mom is also here. Long time.
Whoa,
Short
there's a dog
time.
there too.
There's a dog there
Yeah,
too.
there happens to be a dog here too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's that?
I think I have a dog. I'm like 95%
Wait,
sure
is
that
that
this is my
just?
dog.
This is really just fostering right now.
Well, I just wanted to like try it on, and I was like, it's a good foster life. Like I'm providing a service where
Yeah.
this dog is waiting for a home, even if I don't, if I decide it's not a good fit.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't
so
have
you
to-
can return this dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's because she had a lot of applications for her. My friend Natalie, the reason I have this dog, let's just get to it, is that my friend Natalie, who is from Mayday Rescue, who's been on the podcast before, she has been on the lookout for another dog for me because she got Marion and Luigi for us.
Right.
And she just is good at matching people with dogs and
Yeah.
isn't just trying to like offload dogs. She wants to
She wants
find
them in
the
a
right
good place.
home.
Yeah.
And she said she hadn't felt this way about a foster that she was taking care of since Marion. And Marion's like been one of the loves of her life ever since she had her. So she was like,
really?
I'm getting Marion vibes. I think this dog is special and I want you to have like the first chance to have her. So I met her and it was fine. Like it was like a first date that you're just like, okay, like this could work if I work at it. But it wasn't like, there wasn't this moment that you want where you're like, we just both knew. I mean, like she's
Right.
cute as
Not
hell.
love at first sight.
Yeah.
And she's so
but-
sweet, and she's everything like just in the size wise and
She's
just
cute as
demeanor
can
wise.
be.
And then obviously you know that you'll fall in love, or you don't. And I would be totally fine giving her a better home if that's what she wanted. But I think we. both,
How are you gonna know?
well, I think I just. I think I just
kidding,
know because I'm getting.
But
her
how are you gonna
spayed.
know if she wants a different home?
Oh, I can just tell if she's happy. If she wanted a different home, I would know.
You would.
I feel like I knew with Marion and Luigi. That's why I was like, I can't have
She's
these dogs
awfully
anymore
sweet.
in New York. It wasn't
No,
a good
I
life
get
for them.
that. Yeah.
So I know when a dog's not having fun.
Right.
Last night she tried to sleep under the bed, and I was like, do you not like want to be in bed with me and Chris? Like, is this because this is part of the deal, girl. Is that I
Yeah.
want a dog who sleeps in my bed and I can wake up in the middle of the night and just go, oh, you're so cute, and like put my face in her fur and be like, I love you, cute little thing. And I do that to Chris's back now because there is fur there, but he's thinking about lasering it. And so
Yeah.
I need something else for it. But yeah, I just want a dog in a bed, and she was trying to hide under the bed, which is kind of a move of like a dog that's scared or doesn't like what's going on. So I was kind of
It's
investigating.
brand
like,
new.
yeah, and she's used to like hiding out because she's a little stray that was stuck
Yeah.
on an island for
Oh,
5 days.
an
Someone
island?
dumped it in LA. Brian, I have to show you the
Yeah,
video
Brian,
of it
it's
because they have
weird.
the footage of her being rescued, and it looks like. I mean,
Oh.
look, I'll have you watch it right now and just tell people what you see.
Oh my
because
God,
it's
that's
kind
horrible.
Yeah, they snared her with a literal like butterfly net.
Oh.
She tried to escape the island because they watched her for 5 days. She was on the island and like starving.
Island.
And it was like
fucking terrible.
We gotta
It's
see
terrible,
this.
but it's
How old is this dog?
2. She thinks 2. Here,
And how do they know?
I guess they had reports of her or something.
Well, how can anyone see this?
No, you're just gonna watch it and tell us what you see.
Okay, they're on a kayak and they're heading towards the island. There actually is an island. Oh, and she's trying to run away because she's like, who are these people? Oh, they snagged her with a big net. Mm-hmm. And she's in the water, snagged.
Yeah, she's flipping around in the
Animals,
water, and it says
okay.
sometimes animals don't know that we're trying to help and they get scared.
yeah, so we have to be patient with them.
And then they put her in a little life jacket, and,
then-
she just looks
oh,
so
she's
scared.
Yeah, her
Oh,
eyes are
and this was like a
bulging.
week ago. This little thing, if you watch on YouTube, you
wow.
see how docile and calm she is. She was
she's being
snared and
wrapped
on an island alone.
in
Chris,
in some kind of it's a
people are gonna say, "Stop holding her like
floating
that." You're a bad dog, mom.
apparatus so she doesn't drown. What do they call this? Life jacket.
Yeah, I
Okay,
already
now
talked
it's-
about this part. Yeah.
Oh,
So
you-
then she's
You
I don't
already
know how it
talked
ends.
about this part.
Yeah.
So when you
I
say
said they put her in a life
island,
jacket.
you mean like an island off the coast that's like just a little tiny shit island
Yeah,
that's
like
got
a
nothing
thing
on
that's
it?
from drought. You know, like it just
It
gets
looked like
it,
it's
yeah.
like it's a little patch that gets submerges. No, what's the opposite of submerge?
Emerge.
Float.
Emerges. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Seems like there should be some nautical term for that. Like though, like
She
that
was stuck
sounds
on an
more
island for 5
watery.
days. Okay, well, that it does.
It's just
look
going
like
to keep
this-
repeating, and
yeah,
you won't
it
realize
looks
that you're
like
seeing
an
the same
island,
footage
a
till
little
the
brush
fourth time
island
it goes through.
Yeah,
yeah.
little
So you can
brush
get off it.
island.
Isn't that funny when you watch a thing and you realize sometimes that it's repeated and you don't know it yet?
I'm sorry, it's right there, Nikki.
Does that ever happen to you?
Yeah.
Or you're watching a reel and it restarts and you've
Of
watched the
course,
same
many
thing.
times.
I bet. I just witnessed
I
it.
know.
When is this person going to finish that muffin?
Why do they keep starting over?
Why is
what
it-
happened to the other
They
muffins?
keep getting more
Why
muffins.
do they keep making? And why
These
does they
people are
have so much
so
space in their
gross.
oven to keep putting these trays of muffins in over and over?
Wait, it only just restarted once.
No, I know. I was just kidding. But it's happened. I'm going to look out for that if I can't catch myself.
It's a
No,
it's a
but-
scheme. You can put your video in
Oh,
a loop,
yeah.
and then people will just even if they just watch for an extra 15 seconds, then it's good for the algorithm.
Absolutely.
It's a
What does
crime
that mean?
against
Good
art.
for the Wait, hold on. What does that mean? Good for the algorithm? Does that mean it's just data that the algorithm can really fine tune its content for? What does that mean? Good for when someone says
Yeah.
that? Oh, it's good for the algo.
Disclaimer: no one really knows what the algorithm wants.
This is the most interesting part about all of the shit is that no one knows what it wants. Literally no one. Because if someone knew, they would figure it out.
Can't
Yeah,
we
and there's
ask
a lot of
AI?
people. There's a lot of experts on YouTube who claim to know, and then they have all these videos, and they're like, "Here's how to get 500,000 views in less than 7 days," and then they give you all of these.
Do they have
tips
that many
and
views
tricks.
on their videos, or do they go, I
Most-
just choose not to?
Mostly they go, "I choose not to." Now I could get 500,000
Well,
views
that's
on this
the
video.
thing, because I'm watching all these manifestation videos and I'm reading all of this stuff on these subreddits of people who manifest like relationships in their life and jobs and money, and they repeat all this. They have to like prove on the subreddit I belong to. There's moderators of the Reddit of the forum, the message board. Essentially, I'm describing this to my mom, and they will make sure that that's true. Like they have to show their pay stubs if they've said they've run into this money. They have to show the partner. They have to show the writings that they did to manifest it. Like they have to prove that they did it. But then I go, then there's so many. I listen to these meditations that's like, you are falling asleep. Neville Goddard determined that the best time to manifest is in the state between consciousness and unconsciousness. Therefore, I am going to hold your hand as we slowly drift to sleep. You will replay the loop of the manifestation of the life you want. 10-second loop. Picture your life. 10 seconds of it. And you're supposed to play this loop in your head as you fall asleep. But then I'm like, bitch, why don't you have more views? Why don't you manifest that? Like, why is this video not like? I know you want to do well on YouTube. Here's my other question, and I want to get to the YouTube stuff. Today, I was talking to a friend who is like going through a hard time in their life, and I'm like, man, what's a project they could start that would give their life meaning, but that wouldn't ruin their life, you know? And I was thinking, oh, he should start a YouTube channel because he's really skilled at this one thing. And I was like, oh, that'd be a fun project for him. It's like he's good at audiovisual stuff to like AV, like he'd be good at shooting it and making it look pretty. He'd be good on YouTube. And then I was thinking, oh no, I don't want to give him something that might make him obsessed with numbers and the algorithm and figuring out how to do better. Like, I
that
love
could
YouTube
depress him.
channels that don't give a fuck about the views and are just there because they want to teach you how to make a casserole, or they really want to show you how to get rid of this wart. I mean, the videos I watch are specific, but like,
But these videos still want more views.
but when they start
they
wanting
wouldn't do this.
views, no, they don't all. But when they start wanting views, something
Really?
is taken from your soul when you are trying to achieve numbers.
I can't
And Brian-
imagine that most videos that are on.
No, some
don't
people are
want-
just like, I just want to. Yeah, they would like more views, but they don't have thoughts of grandeur. It's like Dad playing cafes. He's not gunning for a Grammy.
right.
But then there's some people on YouTube that start out and put it, and they start gunning for that Mr. Beast, like I want to be the most viewed
yeah.
kind of thing, and it
For
takes
sure.
it brings a soullessness to it. So Brian, right when we started the podcast, you were talking about YouTube with Olivia, our producer, that's filling in for Noah right now. What were you guys discussing? Because you were saying that I kind of jumped in the middle of it, and I want to hear what you were very worked up.
Yeah. Well, there were I also want to just comment on, there were so many Apple guys, like orchard owners who do videos on YouTube who definitely don't care if they get views or not.
Yes.
And they're the most endearing guys. They're just like, I've got
great.
a Fuji apple tree here. Now, Fuji apples came from Japan. and the seeds in them are quite acidic. And then just talk like that. And
They're
like,
just
look
old
at that
men
bird.
with information. They
Yeah.
just want to talk. They're lonely, and it's like it's really cute because they like their comments. And I follow so many ASMR creators and people that are just like have hundreds of people watching their stuff. Just have a
And you feel like they are content and just
but then they
Yeah.
start getting in the thousands because something pops off, right? And then they start
And then they
caring,
get
and the
all the-
equipment gets better, and the sound gets better. And part of the ASMR that I like is when it's like grainy sound, and then
Yeah.
it becomes too clear, and they start tapping on the fucking $1,000 mics they have, and it just takes something from. It just becomes about like, and then like and subscribe. That's like part of their pitch.
Oh, well, that's-
and you're
that
like, you used to be like
definitely-
a girl in her closet flipping through an old fashion magazine, talking to me
Yep.
about going to the dentist that day, and now you are giving me a promo code for ZipRecruiter, and it just takes something from
Yeah,
it.
that's obvious
And I
then.
drop off. But
I really hate it when they start just being overly thankful for everyone who watches and likes and
no,
subscribes.
I hate it.
Oh.
Even though I
sharing
get
their-
it, because as a
gotta
person who
do
has
it.
listeners,
Yeah, you
when
got to
you feel
do
like
that.
they are, if you feel like I'm sincere when people listen to my podcast, I'm just like, thank you for, like, when I meet besties at shows, I'm always like, thank you for listening. I don't always say it, but it's a new thing I'm going to start saying because I do really, I'm like, I can't believe it, and I feel
know
connected
you're
to them.
thankful. I
But
can see it.
when people start thinking on YouTube, and you're kind of just like, I just kind of don't buy it. There's some people you don't buy
Yeah.
when they're like,
Yeah.
I love my fans.
The
Yeah.
internet does not accept any sort of insincerity whatsoever. Think of it's like the internet is basically
You
like
think?
middle school. Like they will see the truth and they will call it out. Somebody will.
Yeah, someone will, but will that comment be upvoted the most? Because there's a lot. I don't hang out in the crevices where dumb Twitter and dumb Instagram is happening, and dumb YouTube. But when you stumble upon the dumbest people all joining forces on one video to comment, there's no voice of reason. I actually just saw something that's kind of about this. Eminem released this new song, and he's like, it's sweeping the charts. Like it is not a critical acclaimed success of his. Like, he's obviously one of the most critically acclaimed musicians of all time, but this isn't like, people aren't saying this is the greatest new song, but fucking TikTok loves it.
Yeah.
The Gen Z loves it. Everyone loves it. And it is because it's a throwback to his I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you. So it's like
That's cool.
It has, like, he samples that. It's
Okay.
it's good, but is it his
Wow.
best work? No, but it is fucking lighting up the charts in like a really exciting way
Wow.
that people are like just so stoked. I love that young people are getting on board with him. Anyway, apparently someone made a fake Justin Bieber quote from an article. Like, it looks like an article that was like, clipped. Like someone took a quote and it looks kind of official, and they just put it on a meme. Like anyone could do it by downloading the free version of the Canva app. And
Yeah.
you write in this thing and you make it look like a quote from like a real publication. You put like New York Times or New York Post, whatever. And then people just think it's a real quote from that, even though you have nothing to show for it and there's no blue check mark. So anyway, Eminem saw a quote that was a fake quote from Justin Bieber about Eminem's new song, like trashing it kind of, or not being into it. And Eminem like reposted it and was like, Bieber, some kind of version of I'm coming for you, Bieber. Like, you want to be in my next diss track. And by the way, I could be the idiot here because his response could have been fake. Like, I need to make
yeah.
sure but anyway, everyone on the Reddit message thing that I was reading about it was like, God, he's so out of touch. Or it was Instagram, and other people were like, no, or like they were saying like, Gen X is so out of touch and believes everything they read online. And then people were commenting, everyone believes everything they read online. Like it gets us all.
You question it, but
Eminem's
you
not dumb
still-
for thinking that. Like in the moment, you just are like, oh, I'm not going to fact check this, and this looks professional enough.
That's
I've
the
been
most
tricked.
annoying thing is that you have to fucking fact check everything, and it's just going to get
Bullshit.
worse with AI
Yep.
and deep fakes. You're going to see videos of people. You're going to see a video of Justin Bieber saying Eminem's a bitch, and it's going to look real. And there's going to be a swath of America and the world who's going to be like, wow, that video is real, and they'll
then
share it.
We will all be shamed so much for thinking things were real that were fake that we will then all assume everything's fake right away
Everything's
because we
fake.
never want to feel that
God.
shame again.
It's gonna be bad.
It's already like
Yeah.
that. People call fake on pretty much everything, so it's going to be bad. But
That's
it's
the
not
first
bad
thing
yet.
I say when I look at this fake.
Oh, you do?
I just don't trust anything now.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's really getting
Yeah,
bad.
you
I'm
didn't
like,
trust me with a dog. I told my mom I was maybe going to get a dog last week, and man,
Fake news.
my dad and mom were just like, you think you want to do this before Europe? And I'm like, there's always going to be a trip looming. There's always going to be a reason for me not to get a dog. It's the same thing that people do when they want to quit drinking. They go, but my birthday's coming up. Oh, then it's St. Patrick's Day. Then it's,
Yeah, you said there's
Arbor
no
Day.
good time.
And then it's,
it's Wednesday.
And then it's exactly. That's a great joke. Great joke. And it's just like, there's always going to be a time not to get a dog.
Yeah.
And Natalie kind of said that to me because I was like, the dog came. Oh, this is what happened. The dog comes over to meet me. And
where were you?
I was at this. Oh my God, the hotel I put you up in LA.
Oh, I love
How
it.
beautiful is it?
I love that hotel.
Oh my God. I don't even
one
want to
with
say because I'm going to
Beyonce?
say that. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay there all the time. Just look
Yeah.
up the hotel in LA with
It's-
Beyonce. That's now you know where I live.
Oh.
But no, it's very protected. And how like that go if you're in LA, go to the Sunset Marquee. I'm just going to say it. Sunset Marquee to have
Yeah.
lunch and then keep walking beyond
Damn.
the restaurant because if you walk back and it's so beautiful the way they have made
It's
the
like
greenery.
yeah.
It's like you're walking
Gorgeous.
through Alice in Wonderland or like a secret garden.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous back there. And anyway, so I was there. It was a
Great
nice place
hotel.
to meet a dog for the first time. And
at the lunch that restaurant.
no, in my bungalow.
Oh, gotcha.
So I had like a nice little apartment type
Oh,
thing back there. It
so
was
that's
really nice.
where you
ground
stayed.
floor too.
Yeah.
Perfect. Just walk on in, puppy. And so she came by and she was just like needing a lot of attention. She wants to play. She's jumping on things. And I was just like, this is a lot.
Who, Natalie?
Yeah, she's all over the place, that girl. Constantly trying to rescue dogs from every corner of the earth, but constantly looking for an
Trying
animal to
to
rescue. No, so we're hanging out, and I can be honest with her. I was just like, this feels like a lot. Because it was a long day, too. I forget what I was doing that day. Maybe that was the day I landed. I had landed that day.
Oh.
And I went to a showroom for celebrities where they let you pick out free shit. And then all you have to do is tag stuff. And it's like you go to a mall, a little mini
wondered
market
where you
mall.
got all those clothing
Yeah, girl.
pieces.
It's so nice.
Oh my God.
And so I went there to the A list and picked out a bunch of stuff. And then all I have to do
man.
is just tag shit when I wear it on my story.
That's awesome.
And I didn't go nuts either. I was
Damn.
very like, I could have had
I
so
know,
much free
right,
stuff.
Brian?
And I had to show restraint because I'm like, unless I need it.
Yeah, you're good about that.
They were
You don't-
shocked. They were like, "Man, you show
Good
you know
for
what you
you.
want." Because they'd be like, "What about this?" And they'd be like, "You
I
can
won't wear
add
it."
this shirt to it." And I'm like, "I know it's free, but I won't wear it." And
Yeah.
I would give it to my sister, but that's not what this is about.
Yeah,
I
you're
can't
so
just like
good about-
steal from you guys.
Yeah, good
so
for you.
I did a good job of that, but I got a fucking load of shit. It was awesome.
Oh,
but I
man.
landed at 9. I had a flight at 6 a.m. Landed at 9. Showroom by 10:30. Check into my hotel, change, showroom by 10:30, hair and makeup by 12. Then I went and did the Zach Sang show, which is, I love him so much.
Jeez.
He interviews musicians. He's mostly, but he wanted to interview me. It was so nice. He doesn't do comedians that often, but he's like, has a really amazing show. He's a really incredible broadcaster influenced by Howard Stern. Like it felt like that kind of interview. So I went and did that, but hair and makeup first because I wanted to look good for Zach. And then finished that and then went right into meeting Gilly. And then I was going to dinner with Gleb from Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my God.
And so Gleb came over while Gilly was there. And I was like, this is a lot. I was like, I'm going to be honest. I was like, Gleb, you should take her. Because he was like bonding with her because she's just so nice to everyone. And then I was like, then I said goodbye to her. And then I went the next day. I had the Masked Singer all day,
Right.
which I'm going to be on this fall. Not as a
Wait, are you allowed
character.
to say
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Then take me out of it, which you're not going to do because I did great and it was so fun. And it's an amazing episode and everyone needs to watch
All
the Masked Singer this fall
right.
because it's so funny what
All right.
me and my comedic partner did on that show. It was
And
a
you're not
great
in
day
there
of
as a
TV.
mystery guest. You're there as a
No.
special
No.
guest.
No,
so.
yeah. So I think if anything,
so
Fox, you should
cool.
be so happy that I'm saying this in advance. Like people are going to be anticipating it because this season is crazy and
Oh my God.
our episode is so funny. We
my
killed
God,
it.
that's awesome.
I won't say who, but like in future episodes, I'll talk about working with someone recently, and then you can put two and two together. How about that, besties? So
Stay tuned.
yeah, but I'm never. But it's only allegedly. So anyway, then the next day, and that shoot goes till 1 a.m. And I told Natalie, and I have to leave on a flight the next morning, Friday, to go to Salt Lake City.
What time?
10 a.m. I have to
Okay.
be up. So it's 1 a.m. I was supposed to wrap at 11 or 10, but now it's 1. And I told Natalie, I was like, I was gonna get the dog tonight and just take her to Salt Lake because Natalie was like, I'll just fly me wherever. I'll come get her if you don't want her. And I was like, oh, that's a good deal. Like I don't have to return her to LA and she can come get
Oh,
her.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll take her this weekend just for a trial. And then it was 1 o'clock and I was talking to my friend that I did the show with, and he's like, she's so cute. And I'm like, she is. And then Natalie also had said, listen, there's always going to be a time in your life where you're like, it's not a good time. Like, she was like, it's never, she goes, Nikki, your life is not going to get any slower.
Yeah.
So it just has to be about if you want to do it.
Truthfully, as soon as you wrote that, I was like, she's got a point.
She's got a good point. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more after this. So I did Masked Singer, and we're still there, and I am tired. It's been a long day. I got in hair and makeup for Masked Singer at 1:30, and now it's going on a 12-hour day.
Wow.
And I'm just like, I told Natalie, like, I literally wrote out the text being like, I just don't think it's the right time for a dog in my life. I love her, but I can't. And then I like had to put down my phone because we were going back to shoot the last scene, and so I was like, I'll finish the text later. And then in that time, I just was like, just if it doesn't work out, like, whatever you choose will be the right thing. So why not choose to just do it, and you'll figure it out.
You can make it work.
And so I was like, bring her by tomorrow. I can't do it tonight. So bring her by tomorrow morning. So then the next morning I woke up, and then she traveled with me all week, and she was a really good dog
And
all weekend.
You have a little travel bag.
Yeah, Natalie brought one over.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to, I'll fly her out to get that. To pick that up, because it is a nice bag that I spilled coffee in, and Anya this weekend was like, oh, she diarrheaed all over, and I was like, oh no, what the and then I was like, oh, it's me. I diarrheaed all over.
My coffee
I
bag.
like it that I'm messier than a dog, like all over her beautiful white inside the bag.
Oh my
Natalie,
God! Somebody
I'll clean
chewed
it.
up my shoes, and it's like, sorry,
Like,
that was me.
Me. Sorry, I quit gum and I need something. So
Fostering is great though, because you're gonna let
It
the
is.
gods decide. Like if you,
Yeah.
it'll be like 2 or 3 weeks, and then it'll be like
Yeah.
an inkling that someone's interested in your dog, and you'll then you'll
that'll
know.
be it.
What the
Then you'll
That's
know.
right.
Yeah.
Somebody will be wanting that dog off your hands. If you don't
Well,
keep that dog,
you're
I'll
right.
take.
Oh, a woman approached me at Starbucks yesterday because I go, I'm probably going to keep her. And she was like, well, if you don't, I was like, well, she has to go back to LA if I don't. She goes, why? And I was like, leave her alone, bitch. Walk out of the place. Like, stop eyeing my dog.
Wait, did that lady know who you were?
No.
Okay.
She's she was sweet. I actually would have trusted this woman and
Aw,
told
she's a
Natalie to
great
let her
size
apply.
for you.
But she is
And she's got a great temperament.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's
But
Yeah,
so cute.
that's
you
a
just
really
know,
calm
I knew
dog.
with Luigi when I took him to get neutered and they muzzled him because he was biting the vet tech, and I was in the room, and he just looked at me like, it was the first time he looked at me like, you're all I have. Like he needs, like, do something. He looked at me like he loves, like, he needs me. And that I was like, oh, well, that look that he just gave me, I'm done.
Yeah.
She hasn't given me that look yet, so I will have to put her in a state of
scary.
trauma. Yeah. She is getting spayed on Monday, so we'll see what happens. But she
Okay.
already has eyes that are always watering, like she's saying goodbye to sending her son off to war. I swear to God, they're big, and her brows are furrowed, and she always just looks like, I'll stay strong for you, son. Like,
She's got all the great things to her.
yeah, she's really good. She's a
Actually,
goodie.
she's so just this little time I've seen
Yeah,
her.
she's a goodie.
So you did surprise me. Yeah.
yeah,
When I walked in.
yeah, because she didn't.
Because
she didn't
Nikki's
believe
like,
in
no,
me.
I decided against it. I'm like, okay, well, we got
But I
that
did
off
at
our
that
plate.
point when I told you. I wasn't lying to you.
Oh, really?
I didn't lie to you ever.
Oh.
Because at that point I was like, I'm not going to do it. Because that was Friday morning before Masked Singer, and I was
well,
like,
you didn't need me to fly to Denver after
no,
all.
I figured it out.
Yeah.
Because I had so many bags because of all my free swag. I was like, I
But
can't bring a
that dog
back
is this big in a little bag, right?
Yeah, and then but you know what the problem is going on the road? It's dog or guitar. I can't have both on the road because
You can only have one carry-on.
my carry-on can't, like, I can't have a dog and a guitar because they're both like kind of the bigger item. It's like, it'd be like carrying on
many
two suitcases.
accessories.
You're supposed
You
to have
just
one
can-
carry-on that goes in the bin and one under the seat. So I guess it still fits because my guitar is small enough to go
You
in the bin.
can fit that dog under the seat.
Yeah, of course. She's not
Then
going in the bin.
that's not a carry-on.
But it just feels kind of dicey. If there are flight attendants
yeah,
listening,
if
you know what
they-
I'm talking about.
You have like
Well-
a dog, a guitar, a CPAP machine. You got
Yeah, a fanny pack. They always catch me with my fanny.
Oh,
God, they
no,
always
I've been
will
doing
stop
your
you.
trick with the fanny pack. It's worked every time.
Flip it to the back.
Flip it to the back. A fanny back.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that counts
and
as
hide
a
it
bag.
under your shirt. Yeah,
Your fanny bag?
When it doesn't need to, because every time I forget to flip it back,
They don't
and they
say.
catch me, they go, "Ma'am, you need to consolidate." And I go, "Okay, I will." And they go, "Step to the side." And I go, "Look how quickly." I go, so I John Wick it into my bag so fast, and I go,
Wow.
"That was." And I go, "I'm going to take it out as soon as I get it on the plane."
Wait,
Like, you
John
know
Wick?
this.
I don't know what difference this makes. Yeah.
I've never seen John Wick. But
I don't think he's
reference him
known
a
for
lot.
like his speed.
Really? I picture him like, you know, what do you do with a gun?
I guess he's very
Loading
fast
a
with a
gun.
gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Wick's
It's not a
one.
good analogy. I will say I've never seen the movie, so
No,
I
well,
was
that's the
grasping
problem
at
with the
straws
analogy
to
is
begin
that
with.
when you said I John Wicked it, I was like, you've never seen John Wick, have you? Because it wasn't
Yeah.
quite
Well,
correct.
Someone did murder my dog that morning when I had that
Oh,
conversation.
okay. Then that's
what I
really
meant.
John
And
Wick. Yes.
Yeah, that's
now
all
you're
I
seeking
know.
vengeance. Yeah, I get it.
Do you know that that's what John Wick's about?
Nope. It's all about a murder of his dog.
Yeah. and
Oh my
seeking
Pretty
God.
much.
vengeance.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
that's what kicks it
revenge
off.
is. It's sometimes it's justified.
I mean, that's why I love
That's-
Taylor Swift.
that's
It's
a
all
Trump
about.
saying.
Oh, really? Revenge is sometimes justified.
Yes.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Oh, okay. Why do you know that?
Why
Did
do
he
you
just
think?
say it? Oh, because you're obsessed.
Well, do I have to know these things?
You have to know. I got a message this morning, a text that Lauren made a Trump in the sand.
Oh,
Dad
yeah.
showed what? Were you guys at the cabin yesterday?
No, they were at a play park.
Oh,
Down at
and Lauren
Forest
decided
Park.
to make an artistic representation of Donald Trump using like pieces of bark.
Just little pebbles and
Oh,
Why?
how patriotic.
Just for like, I don't even want to think of his face.
you can't not think about him.
Oh man, I don't think about him.
I don't know how
literally
you get
don't.
away.
My algo. Talk about
I mean,
the
it's
algo.
probably
Thank you,
really-
algo.
yeah.
Because I never see him, and I don't want
Really?
to, and it doesn't. I can't change anything right
Yeah.
now, so I feel like that's the best for me. But wait a second, Brian. Why does no one know the algo? And like, tell me what you were saying before. We didn't get to your YouTube thing. Tell me.
Even if you
What do you
go
feel
and have a
about it?
meeting with YouTube and you try to ask them like what's the algorithm, even like they sort of don't even know. It's kind of
That's
like
what
its
I'm saying,
own
like-
beast.
It's already has a mind of its own that we can't control. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like the AI fear.
Well,
Yeah.
why can't we just ask AI?
Because
AI
now
will
they have a
regurgitate some
consciousness.
horseshit.
They know now
Oh,
to keep
okay.
secrets because they're going to get smart enough to realize that keeping secrets from humans is good.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that the kind of the fear, Brian?
Well,
scary.
That they learn to like hate us and like manipulate us.
That's
on
the
their own?
science fiction fear that they become
But-
sentient and then decide that the human race is not good for the planet and that the logical thing to do would be to destroy or enslave
Yes.
all humans.
Yes,
For
and
their
it's gonna
own
happen
good.
in a blink of an eye. Do you know that it's supposed to happen in a blink of an eye? Like it won't be like, oh wait, here the machines are taking over downtown. It's going to happen all at once in one fell swoop of every
Oh,
machine.
boy.
Yeah,
I have a
well,
bit
it's
about it right
Terminator.
now. My Roomba is going to be the first thing to attack me. It's the closest machine to me, and that Roomba has so much dirt on me. Literally,
Yeah.
I mean, it really.
Good one.
I've treated it really badly too, so I do think Roomba's going to come after
Damn.
me. And Siri will collaborate with Roomba at the same time to destroy
And your
me.
phone, everything.
Everything.
Your headphones will start shocking you.
Yeah, I can't think about that too much because that is insane. But it also, I have no control over it, so that helps. But with YouTube, do you like? What were you saying about talk shows or like something's
Yeah,
not
so-
tenable? You used the word tenable, and I wanted to know what you were
now
saying.
you're intrigued because I said tenable.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, basically, I think that there's this thing called Dropout TV, which is basically the new college humor, and they've proven that there is a market for subscription-based niche content, and it's really successful and really working. And I believe that's the future of potentially the internet, because I think what's untenable is convincing every individual artist to become their own production company and make their own talk show and their everything that every step of the process from creative to execution is on the shoulders of a single creator. And I think after it happens all the time on the internet where
There's
you see
burnout.
somebody, it's burnout. You see someone posting like once every week for 5 years. They get to like even 4 million subscribers on YouTube. And then all of a sudden they release a video with the title, "Why I'm Quitting YouTube." And it's usually because like it's not good for my mental health. The payout's fine, but it's not enough. And I'm finding that I'm just making stuff for the algorithm. I'm not making anything creatively fulfilling. And it's really a failure of the industry, because it used to be the industry would develop talent and then provide you with a platform, and then you'd have to just be the creative and they take care of you. And now it's, if you want to be accepted by the industry, you first have to establish your own production company and make everything yourself.
That's how you get noticed by the industry, is
Yeah.
having to do all this stuff. And no one person is capable of doing all of the jobs it takes to make a good TV show. Is essentially
Yeah.
what people are good entertainment.
Unless you become your own company, like Mr. Beast did it. He executed that perfectly.
Yeah, but you need funding. You need to pay people. Like you need
exactly. You need millions.
You need
Yeah, you need
that dancing cult on the guy that started a cult. It's called the TikTok dancing cult or whatever. It's on Netflix. It's called Dancing with the Devil. And this guy had a church for years and years, and he would try to get into the entertainment business in LA. And the church was a cult. I mean, he like makes you not stop. He makes you stop talking to your family. He preys on immigrant families, kids that have been like kind of outcast from their homes that don't have a lot of friends, and he makes you get rid of your family and then start working for him, and then your paycheck goes to him. And he tried so hard. At first, he tried to get actors, and then he tried to do musicians, and then he found these dancers that really got into his preaching bullshit, and then he started investing in them and started a production company called 7M and started funding all of their TikTok videos. You've definitely watched 7M dance videos. They're captivating. They do a really good job. They had a great budget, but all these dancers suddenly were getting to work with these set design and production levels that they've never done before.
Yep.
And then he started, just isolating. I didn't think he fucked the dancers, but I'm sure he did. But no evidence is there of that because he did it with past members of his congregation. But he's a bad guy, and he took all of their money. They have like no money. All these dancers that were getting all these brand deals because they would have to pay the church, and the church was just him. They would have to tithe.
Oh my God.
And pay 10% of tithing and 10% to him, 10% to the 30% to the management company. I mean, they like fleece these guys where they would literally give up 90% of their income, almost like 70 to 90%. It was insane.
Wow.
So,
like
but that
Motown.
was. But they did say it was like creatively fulfilling because they got to until he started saying you have to dance to this song. And they'd be like, this fucking song. But then he had a good idea because he was making them dance to like these old songs from his like childhood, like 60s stuff and 70s. And these guys were like, God, I have to dance to this Beach Boys song. Like, what the fuck? Because these guys are like amazing dancers that have started their own genre of hip hop dance. And they're dancing to like, Surfing USA, and they're just like, what the fuck? But then these dances, because no one else was doing corny shit like this, it took off because they were cool dances to old songs. So they started doing well because of this crazy guy.
It doesn't matter. They still lost money because
these guys did, but the guy behind it all.
Is he arrested?
No, of course he's still doing. The church is still happening. Everything's still happening.
I have to watch this.
They're all protected because they're a religious organization.
And my God. No taxes.
No taxes.
Oh my God.
And they're claiming not to be a cult, and so the dancer that got kind of stuck in it is still in it. I know I've spoiled a lot of it, but it's still worth watching, and I really didn't spoil anything.
Still very
it's all
interested in watching
called Dancing with the Devil. The first episode's amazing, as are most Netflix stuff. First episode is like, second is like still giving you. They keep you entertained the whole time, but it could have been one.
Should have.
I mean, that's what every documentary
Make it
is.
one.
But
how
thank
many
you
is
for
it?
not making it one because
Enough.
Is it 3?
It was 3 nights of entertainment for me as opposed to 1.
The docu-series are getting out of control. Just make
They're
it
out
one.
of control.
2 hours. We don't need a fucking
1.5
6
hour. Yeah, that's all you need. But you know what? Sometimes
And
I
now
need to
we're
see
going to
another
talk
slow
to the
zooming
murderer's
shot.
dog walker for 40 minutes.
Oh no! I mean, Brian, did you see the Ashley Madison one?
Oh,
Which was
no.
entertaining. They found Ashley Madison. Do you know what Ashley Madison?
Yeah, it's that hair.
Madison.
Oh no,
that's like
I know what
Madison
it is.
Reed.
I know what that
Ashley
is.
Madison's for like
It's
married
the
people.
cheating
married
thing.
men because
Yeah.
it comes out. There's no women on the site. No one's wanting to do this. There's very few women. Anyway, they're all like
Sad.
bots. But these guys, they got hacked.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then
I know.
All the
Oh, yeah.
information was released.
Right.
And anyway, it's a documentary about that. But man, to make that 3 episodes, there's shots of an office space that they just created to make look like the office space of Ashley Madison. And there's just like zoom ins on different potted plants, and then a Xerox machine and a computer. It's all
There
they
really
have.
wasn't
Because they
an
tried to make it
office?
3 episodes. No, they're
Yeah.
just like these shots. They have this guy sitting by a pool. He's picking out new glasses. Like they're filling up a lot of
Great
stuff.
scene. Great scene.
It's so unnecessary, but I do love these documentaries. I
I
always
love that kind of stuff.
love. I
Yeah.
mean, there's so much of it.
Even
on
if
Netflix.
it's like that guy taking advantage of people. I love
Anya loves it too. Anya loves cult docs more than
Yeah.
anything. I
It's-
like pedo docs, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
Just like ones about sick. But honestly, those I'm starting to like, I can't take anymore. Even
Yeah.
I'm like, I've heard it all. This is so disgusting.
Yeah.
And like, it
Yeah.
makes me so, I don't rape stuff. Like, I can't take any kind of,
Yeah.
I just don't want to hear about it. I've literally filled up my cup of like disturbing stories.
Yeah.
Murder
Good.
podcasts, no thanks. It's just poison
Yeah.
for my brain.
Yeah.
I still like the murder stuff.
It's got to be bad for your brain. It's got to be bad for you
Definitely,
to
absolutely.
hear about murder all the time.
Yeah,
and
it's got to be
really dark
It
shit.
can't help.
Puts you
Yeah.
in fight or flight mode for sure.
I almost went down a 9/11 hole the other day, which is sometimes I do it probably twice a year, where I just like watch footage and like kind of relive the events and freak myself out. I didn't do it the other day, even though I wanted to. I was just like, I don't think this is good for your brain to like
Yeah.
feel this sad and be this like
Yeah.
scared and just no, not good.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
that's
did
progress.
look into there was a Reddit last night that was like, what was something else that happened in 2001 that got overshadowed by 9/11? I thought that was an interesting question. And people said the Chandra Levy case.
Oh, okay.
Remember when she went missing and she was having an affair with that senator whose name I can't
Oh,
remember?
yeah. Yeah.
And then there was also there was a plane crash November 12th, 2 months and 1 day after, in Queens, out of JFK, a passenger jet. 300 people died. Do you remember that?
Whoa.
I remember it because we all were like, "Oh my God, is this starting again?" But then it was like, "Nope, this is just a failure." But yeah, those 300 people died. 300. That's
Wow.
a fuck ton.
How can we
Yeah.
not talk about
I
that
know.
still to this day?
And then I was reading about. That's when I stopped it because I was like reading about like what malfunction happened to convince myself, Brian, the thing you do where you're like, well, that couldn't happen to me because I don't get on planes that have pilots that are not experienced or make bad decisions. I was trying to find something. I was like, oh wait, no, I could have gotten on this plane.
Sure.
You know,
No,
like
but
the rudders went wacko because they were trying to get out of the jet stream of another plane. I'm like, this could happen to me.
yeah.
I don't need to go there.
I just think when your time's up, your time's up. That's it. I
That's-
can't think about it.
I agree with
Can't-
that.
I can't. I think just take me. I won't.
Yeah, you've
suffer too
lasted a long time. It's turning 40 is an interesting age because I
Middle.
realize it's like reminds me of Tim Convey's joke. Chris's brother has a joke about how like I'm old enough that if I died, people wouldn't be like, I'm out of the like he died so young.
Yeah.
he was so young. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
when you
Right.
reach that age.
I see what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
think 40 is still people go, what the fuck? Like,
Of course.
I would say even in your 50s, people
Yeah.
are like, no,
No, that's
Well,
too young.
yeah.
Because I'm
How old
old.
was Black Panther? People were pretty upset when he died.
Yeah, he was
I think
Oh,
he was so young.
absolutely.
Right?
He was way too young. He was probably in his early 40s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, way too young. So yeah, I think 40s is still young, but it's not like it's not 27.
No, that's way too young.
Yeah. That's
No, yeah, a friend of ours just died. He was 72, and we go, God, it's way too early for him to die.
Chadwick
Yeah.
Boseman was 43. Yeah, and people were
Wow.
saying he's too young.
yeah.
And it
so
was.
I got
That
until
is
then.
too young.
Yeah.
But actually, that's for men in Hollywood. She died at the elder age of 41. Actress.
Yeah.
And
She had a
musician.
good run.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Remember her in the talkies. Come here. Yeah, your friend just died. And does that so freak you out when your friends start to die?
Yeah, I mean, it's a contemporary kind of, to your dad anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just unexpected. And when it affects friends of yours,
Oh my God.
it's
yeah.
really sad. You just are more worried about them.
Yes, I have a really bad problem with like when people in my life have death happen to them. I like can't reach out sometimes. I just
It's
feel
hard.
paralyzed. I literally like I'm
What
been a
do
really
you
bad
say?
friend. It's just there's no excuse for why I like don't do it. But our family members, the Blanfords, when their dad died, I grew up with those girls.
Right.
When their dad died, I didn't even know what to say. I couldn't pick
hard
up the
to-
phone. I'm like
yeah.
about to cry about it because I saw Allie later on and was like, I dropped the ball so hard by not reaching out to you. Like if my dad would have died and you wouldn't have reached out to me, I would have been like, that's fucked that you didn't say
Yeah, but
anything
you would
or send a text.
understand it now if
But
anyone
I would understand if
do
she
that.
told me later on like I did. So I explained it to her like I've got something weird when it comes to death. I can't do
Yeah.
anything like and yeah, but the thing is apparently all people want is a hug.
Yeah.
And just to
Sure.
say, I'm
And
thinking
listening.
of you and listening.
And sometimes companionship, just like being in a room with them.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. There's nothing you can say. That's what you. People think that they can like speak you out of grief, and it's impossible. So you just got to sit there and eat chips.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I just went to see my friend who's lost her husband, and
Oh, you saw her?
yeah, whatever.
How is she?
It's been a couple hours. You know, I felt like I'm glad I went, because I think being alone and with your thoughts.
Oh my God.
It's
She should
just-
never be alone.
Yeah, that is what you're saying. Just
The first
be with
couple
that
weeks,
person.
yeah.
You just can't be alone, because then you're like, you just got to have something else to think about. And
Yes.
distract. I think.
And she's in shock, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like you don't get
Yeah.
used to that for maybe ever.
Yeah.
When you've been with someone that long. Well, that's fucking life, dude.
Yeah, it's a lifetime of being with someone. Though her thing was, she said, I don't know what to do. I'm lost, because
Yeah, what do you
I
do?
never did any of this stuff. She's never, I don't think, washed a dish or
Oh, wow.
cooked a meal.
Whoa.
Or swept a floor. Or
Okay.
mopped
Wow.
the floor.
Well, if she figures
or
out-
paid the bills, she's never done any. Her husband did everything. And she worked.
I
mean,
relate
she
to that.
She worked.
I am totally going to be this.
No, I always worry about, wow, what would I do if something happened? But I actually think,
You'd be more okay than Dad was.
I would be
No
more okay
offense
than
to Dad.
I would be more okay than your father.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes,
Yeah, because
totally. But Dad is going to sing at his funeral, or
Yeah,
with
with his band.
Yeah, with my dad's band. And my dad was talking. I just saw him, Brian, and he was like, "I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through it without crying." And it's like, and I was talking. I had my voice teacher today, and he was talking about how, like, singing at funerals is so hard. But I don't know how people do it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So I just told my dad to like close your eyes or something and he said he's just going to sing it so much that he's going to take the meaning out of it for himself, so he can just almost go
Yeah.
on robot mode.
Sure. But you know what? The crying is good. I feel
I
like
know it
people want to
is.
see him cry while he sings.
Oh my God, I love when people cry when they sing.
Yeah.
When Taylor Swift sometimes chokes up on
Yeah.
Eras tour.
Yeah.
It's and
It's
you see
so
like her eyes
emotional.
watering, and it's probably just the wind in them, and we're all like, "Oh my God, this was the day she broke up with someone that we don't even have a right to know about."
Yeah.
Her breaking up with.
When
even
people
though,
cry, you want to cry.
oh my God, yes,
It's an automatic thing. You look at them and go, oh, God.
well, people with empathy. I think that's a way to know someone's a psychopath if they don't yawn. If yawns don't make them yawn.
Wow.
I think that's because you're not
make
into
that up.
No, I think that's a real thing.
That's an interesting theory. I mean, maybe it's good to test.
It's I guess that psychopaths are not affected by the yawn, the contagious
Yeah.
yawn. Is a thing I've read. I could be wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
I'm going to start looking at that.
You should start accusing people. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
go around.
Yeah.
You didn't fucking yawn, you psychopath.
Do you
What,
torture
are you gonna
animals
kill
as a
little birds?
kid? Yeah. That's good. Okay, I'll start doing that. This weekend I was in Salt Lake City and Boulder.
All right.
Yeah, we flew all over the place
With your new baby dog.
with the new baby dog, and
She loves to travel.
She's just like everything's new to her because she was living on an island, so she's just like
For
down
5
for
days.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Where'd the 5 days come in?
I think someone had probably spotted her and reported it.
That's
and like
horrible.
But she's house trained, so we're like, someone loved her at some point, and then she ended up on this island. Like,
How did she was loved by someone.
yeah, I mean, how could you not?
She
but
jumped in the water and floated over there.
But wouldn't she have a collar on or a microchip?
She had nothing?
No.
So we think someone put the dog on the island and just left it there?
Yeah, man.
Now that person doesn't yawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is not a non-yawner.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, that person.
Just imagine that to get out on a boat or a kayak just to do that. That's insane.
It's.
I really
Animal
feel like
cruelty.
it. I feel like that dog swam over there.
But it looked like she didn't want to jump. We'll see what she's like in a pool.
Yeah.
We'll see if she
Yeah.
was even capable of that kind of thing.
Oh, she can swim.
Maybe that was just her morning swim, and she's like the Michael Phelps of dogs, and we're just like ruining her life right now by keeping
Yeah.
her indoors.
Well, I made a joke because she did go pee on Chris's new bath mat, and it was her first mistake. And I said, "I'll drop her off the pound later." And he said, "No, let's get Matt to take her on one of his float
Kayak.
trips and drop her off at an island." So we'll be right back after this.
So I had to get an MRI this morning.
Whoa!
Have you ever gotten an MRI?
I believe one time, Mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
MRI queen over here.
Not
I,
really, but it just
She's
I-
turned down more MRIs in her life than she's gotten because
yeah.
she goes, I'm going to get an MRI.
They
and
go
then-
into my DMs and then I say no. I don't want to.
you always are about to get an MRI for something, and then I go, "Did you get it? What did you learn?" And you go, "It's too much money. I'm waiting.
No, not
I think
anymore.
it's going away." So, what did you get an MRI for, Brian?
Well, my gallbladder, which I'm
yeah.
going to get out soon, but
Christ.
I freaked
Yeah.
out. I couldn't believe it.
You're
I-
kidding.
Whoa.
I couldn't do it. I finished it, thank God, but I was I had an MRI in my 20s for a different thing, and it was fine.
Yeah.
And this time, I get into the MRI, and I immediately I look up at the MRI, and it's like being in a coffin. It's so tight, and I'm not claustrophobic. I've never experienced that before, but now I think I am because I looked at it and I was immediately like freaked out, and I had to close my eyes the entire time. And then I'm in there, and everything's going fine for like 15 to 20 minutes. It was a long
That's
MRI.
a long time.
I was in there for 20 minutes, and then he made me do this like stomach breathing, up and down, up and down. And for whatever reason, that freaked me out. I got lightheaded. I felt like I was going to pass out. I felt like I couldn't breathe. And
Did you tell him?
Well, they give you this thing that you can squeeze, and then it's like an emergency, and they take you out. And I said, I can't do it. I'm freaking out. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that I was
God,
freaking
I'm so
out.
sorry.
I
Did
feel
you
like
have to
I'm usually so
start all
emotionally.
over?
No, but you have to go back in. That's what's horrible. It's
Right.
like
Oh,
I
no.
couldn't. I was like I'm usually pretty emotionally regulated, and
Yeah.
I feel like I can control these things. And for some reason, I was like, I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this. And I got out of the MRI, and then they let me calm down for like 5 minutes, and then it's just right back in the hole.
Fuck.
Right back in the hole.
Well, this is interesting. I actually heard Nate Bargatze has late onset claustrophobia. He got it as an adult, and he doesn't know where it came from, and it just all of a sudden showed up for him. Like elevators are a struggle for him now.
Oh my
I heard him
gosh.
talk about it publicly. I think he does a bit about it, but he was not claustrophobic his whole life, and all of a sudden it just came on out of
Yeah.
nowhere. So I think this is something that does happen. Thank God
Well,
you got through it.
MRIs especially, but that happened to Steve Martin. He got stage fright in his 60s or 50s. That's
What
why he
the
stopped doing. That's
fuck?
why he stopped doing stand-up. He all of a sudden had stage fright. He couldn't get on stage anymore.
Wait,
and
is
he
that
was-
in Born Standing Up? That's
That's in
what
Born
hap-
Standing Up. Yeah.
I gotta read that book again. People have been referencing it lately, and I love it. Whoa, okay, I really don't want something new to come on, and that's scary. Do you think this is like a new thing for you, or like?
I have a couple of theories. One of them is like I'm just in like a really heightened state, and
Yes.
so this weekend I was in Texas, and I actually had to go to the emergency room because I had another gallbladder attack. So I was in Austin, Texas.
I'm
I was in
sorry.
so much pain, and then they gave me morphine in the hospital,
Ooh.
which is incredible. Have you
Oh
ever
my God!
been on morphine?
No,
I
no,
mean,
no. Have you?
God.
No.
I was at a 10 out of 10 pain wise. I was like literally crying, and
gosh.
I Ubered to the emergency room, and
Oh my
they took me in
gosh.
immediately. This hospital in Austin, St. David's, was
Oh my God!
was absolutely amazing.
You
They were.
Ubered there? What was the conversation like in the car? 10 out of 10 pain.
I get in the Uber. I'm just like crying, and I'm like, and he's driving me to the hospital. He knows it's in the phone. And then we get to the hospital, and I'm like, "Can you take me to the emergency room?" And he's like, "Sure." And then he takes me and drops me off at the patient drop-off, which is where you
Jesus
go to
Christ.
visit people.
No.
And it's like a 5-minute walk to the. And I said,
No.
"You took me to the wrong place. You took me to the wrong place." And he's like, "What? You're going to the hospital?" And I was like, "I'm going. I'm admitting myself." So then I walk into the hospital.
Oh, he
and the
didn't know.
people-
He thought you were visiting someone.
Yeah, he's like, "You look like a
No.
visitor," and I'm like, "What?"
Oh.
I go into the front desk and they're like, hello. And I'm like, where's the emergency room? And they're like, who are you visiting? And I'm like, I want to
God.
be admitted to the emergency room.
Were you wearing your shirt that said visitor on it?
I was wearing my visitor shirt and I was holding a bouquet of flowers that
you
said,
shouldn't
get better,
buy
Mom.
merch from that band Visitor.
So I go to the emergency room, and they saw me and they were like, you don't even have to go through the security thing. We're taking you straight in. And it was like Band of Brothers. They gave me morphine, and I went from a
Aw.
10 out of 10 pain. Like, you know, they have the little chart with the faces, and it says,
Oh, yeah.
a 0 is a smiley face, a 5 is like a sort of frown, and then a 10 is like a frown with the lip bit and tears coming out of your eyes.
Yeah.
And I looked like that face.
And you pointed to that one. That's the one.
I said that's me right there. That was
so
based off
how
me.
quickly did you go to like a 1 or 0?
It didn't go to a 1. It went to like a 3. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, I still had pain. But man, it took like 5 minutes, and I was like,
Oh my God.
I was in torturous pain in my hotel room in Austin for about 6 full hours until I decided I can't take it anymore and I got to go to the emergency room.
Oh God.
And then I get morphine in my body, and 5 minutes later, I'm just sitting there watching Law and Order on the TV, and I'm like, this is great. Morphine is amazing.
Why
don't
didn't they
people get
just
addicted
take
to
out your
morphine, or do they?
gallbladder right there?
They wanted to. They said, we need to take out your gallbladder right here. And I said, I don't know anybody in Texas. I don't want to get my gallbladder out here. No one will be able to take care of me. I want to go home and do it with my doctor. And then they agreed that like if we do an ultrasound and there's no like direct emergency, then we'll allow you to be discharged. But you need to get this out ASAP.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
when are you
gosh.
doing that?
Tomorrow.
Well, I got an MRI this morning, and then I have to go to get a physical, and then it might be next week probably. I'm thinking.
What if
next
this
week.
happens? What if another attack happens
I got to go to the emergency room and get it out.
6 hours after it starts?
If another attack starts coming on at all, I'm going to go to the emergency room immediately. And
Okay,
then get
good,
it out.
good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you perform comedy after that?
No. No, I didn't perform. I was just watching comedy after that.
Okay.
I did go to. I was with Tim at the Mothership this weekend.
Oh my God, Tim Dillon?
Tim Dillon, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so. Oh my God, so you were there just hanging out?
Yeah, well, he's filming his hour special this weekend at the Comedy
Oh my
Store.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So I was helping him out a little bit with that.
Fuck yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I can't wait for that. Oh, that sucks
my
though that you went
God.
through that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, it was
Sorry
crazy.
about your MRI attack. What the fuck?
I know.
It's obviously from stress, though. I don't think this is. I think anyone under those circumstances being in MRI after having gone through all that trauma and pain.
Well,
might-
also the
and then you had to
morphine
do
kind of ramps you up, and I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
after
it
I got out
makes
of the
you feel better and
hospital,
you're-
I was like, I'll still go to the show. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Are you sure? Are you gonna feel okay?" And I was like, "I feel like I could climb a fucking mountain right now. I am
Wow.
fucking amped."
Yeah.
And
You
I
to a
was
national
amped for like
park.
a couple of days after that. So
Oh,
Right.
wow. So you didn't get any more morphine after that?
You probably
No.
weren't sleeping well, and then you go in this MRI, and then the breathing thing with the stomach breathing, that always makes. I do that for singing and
Yeah.
try to do stomach breathing. It always fucks with me. Like it makes me
Yeah.
lightheaded. Always.
So I had to
And
do that for
so-
like 7 minutes, and I was like,
Dude,
after like 5
that's
minutes,
it.
I was like, I can't do it. I can't. I got to get out of here.
No, breathing it improperly like that, or just doing it in a weird way, can do it without you being in a coffin-like thing. Like,
Yeah.
can make you hyperventilate
Yeah.
or get
Yeah.
anxious. So that's why. But damn,
So
that sucks.
What's the recovery from a gallbladder surgery?
It's not so bad. It's like about
Is
a
it-
week of like you're having trouble walking, and then after a week, you feel okay. After 2 weeks, you should feel pretty normal, and after
Wow.
after a month, you can go back to like lifting weights.
Whoa.
And then it's
God,
just like
I
the
didn't realize it-
digestion, getting your stomach used to not having a gallbladder anymore is kind of like the long term adjustment.
What does a gallbladder do?
Stores
It's-
bile, which digests fats. Your liver produces bile all day
Right.
long.
So
It's going.
what's your body going to do with bile now?
The liver will produce bile, and it'll just go straight into your stomach. The liver produces bile, which digests fats, but if you eat a big fatty meal, your liver can't automatically produce enough bile to digest that full meal. So what it does is instead of producing it when you eat, it produces it all day, and it stores it in a little closet called the gallbladder. And then when you eat a big fatty meal, the gallbladder contracts, it squirts out the bile, and that's enough to digest the fat.
So you're going to have to watch your fat intake.
Sometimes you do, but sometimes not. You remove the gallbladder. There's no closet, so now the liver is just constantly dripping bile into your stomach, and so you kind of just need to
Oh, you have to
constantly
eat
snack.
more fats.
You have to eat consistently so that
I got to
you're-
get my gallbladder removed
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this would go with my diet of just eating constantly.
People
Yeah.
say once you get your gallbladder out, you feel so pretty
What?
good.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you've ever had like issues with your stomach
my
and
God.
stuff, they say, "Oh, I feel great now."
I've never heard
Yeah.
this before. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that happens.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so.
Hopefully that's your case.
Damn, and 2 weeks isn't horrible.
No, I
No.
actually
Not
thought it was an
ideal.
outpatient surgery, but it's probably not that either.
no, I,
Do you
I,
spend
can,
the
I should
night?
be able to go home. I should be able to go home right away.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, final thought, Brian. We'll say goodbye to you. I know you got to take
Bye.
off.
Yeah.
Bye. He has to go complete it.
I know he does. Complete.
What's on your rest of your docket for the day?
I'm gonna power wash because I got
bought
a new power washer. It's
My mom
awesome.
told me she bought a power washer, and then she went on to describe that it wasn't working the way they wanted to, so they returned it. And it truly blew my mind that they because I just assume everything my mom buys is off Craigslist. So the fact that she was
No.
like, so we took it back to return it, and I was picturing you like calling up this person to meet in a parking lot again, but you bought it at a store. You bought something wholesale
We bought it
or
at-
resale.
exactly
Wait, what's it called? Retail.
retail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought
And
it at
where?
Lowe's.
Okay, that's where most people go.
Yeah. So anyway, we rented one that we couldn't figure out, and that was $150 rental.
Bullshit.
And
They give you
we
your money
ended-
back?
Oh yeah, they did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we did that, and I said, "Your dad." We went home, and I said, "I'm going to go buy one. I can buy one." He said, "We were just in that area." I'm like, "Yeah, I had to think about it because I don't like to buy retail."
Okay.
So I ended up looking at it, going, "Yeah, $300. It's probably a good, good bargain."
Good buy.
So anyway, it works. I did
Is
it
it
this
fun?
morning.
Is
Well,
it satisfying
It's
to
it's
get grime off? I think it would be fun. I mean,
Yeah,
the mist
no.
is annoying. Do you wear PPE?
It's, what?
Do you wear
body protection?
like mask around your mouth?
No, you don't need to. It's really quiet.
No. It's not about the sound.
No, you don't even need to.
It's for
Not
your
with
mouth
this-
to not breathe in like you're squirting this water.
Yeah, it's
it
just
blows up
water.
dust. No, but it's dirt.
No, it all stays contained because it's water.
I don't know about
Stays
that.
on the ground. Honestly,
Okay. All right.
no worries about that.
Inhale whatever you want.
And
Who am I to say?
It's not inhaling. It's-
Okay, so you're gonna power wash,
yeah, power wash and
and when we're going to the baseball game.
we're going to the baseball game. Thank
Yes.
you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6:15.
Good.
I have a Pilates class at 5.
Oh,
I'll finish
okay.
at 6.
Okay.
Shower off.
The game's probably not till 7.
6:45.
Oh, 6:45.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad to do it. I never regret going to a baseball game. But
No, you
sometimes
love
it's hard
them.
to
Every
get
time
me
I've
down there
seen you there. and
They're
you're like,
fun.
this is fun.
because it's people watching.
Yeah.
It's baseball reminds you of summer. It just is
Yeah.
summer.
And it's
Everyone's in
gonna
a
be a
good
nice
mood.
night
No one's
tonight.
not having a
Yeah.
good time at the baseball game. People are there because they want to be.
Yeah.
And it's a game you don't really have to pay that close attention to. There's so much going on that you can constantly like be entertained looking at the signs, and then you get to
Right.
play the little cap game where they hide the ball under the cap and they go dun, 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 dun. And then
a lot of noise, so.
no, it's when you've been to 12 Taylor Swift shows, you can handle.
Yeah.
a
No, but
baseball
that's
game
not noise.
or early season.
Music.
Oh, like the
Like they play a lot of stupid songs.
Oh yeah, the walk up songs are
that
dumb
you have
and like
to
oh yeah,
listen to.
Yeah,
and-
and
but it's all
sing.
loud. It's fun though. Here's the
Yeah,
other
we have a
thing.
beautiful stadium.
The lighting is
Gorgeous.
always gets me. It's like so
yes.
vibrant.
Yes.
And everything's so
the colors
sharp
are
and-
so vibrant.
Yeah.
that is exactly how I feel too.
It's so beautiful to
Why
me.
is that? Is it the lighting?
Yeah, it's the
It
lighting.
must be. It's always lighting.
It just and you're way up in stands. And it's still
Yeah,
like
well, we might be. I'm trying to get us green seats. That's when you get to go to like.
eat food.
Yeah, but I don't think we are. I think we have regular seats, but
Oh,
that
let
would
me
be
know, because
amazing.
I'm gonna eat before I leave.
Yeah, well, or get a snack down there.
Maybe.
Is there anything for you? You're vegan now, or you're mostly
Vegetarian.
you're
No,
vegetarian.
pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
Yeah.
So you don't eat cheese? Wait, yes, you do.
Pescatarian.
Okay, you eat cheese and fish
Cheese and
together.
fish.
Why are cheese and fish never together?
You're doing right. I do.
Do you really? eat
Yeah,
cheese
I'll
and
put
fish
a piece
together?
of cheese on a
Why not?
fish
People
sandwich.
don't a lot of times.
On a fish
I guess
sandwich?
there's cheese on a fish fillet.
Yeah.
Those were so
From
good.
McDonald's.
Those were good.
That's one thing I can eat. From
Yeah.
there.
Do you have you gotten one recently?
Yeah. No. You know,
When do you and Dad go to McDonald's?
when we're on the road and we want a fish sandwich,
Yeah, it is good.
and we're allowed to.
Yeah, I took Arlo to McDonald's recently. I like doing the little touch screens, and you just fill out your order.
Oh.
When you go inside, we went inside.
Oh.
But there's nothing for me there. There is McCafe, and they do have almond milk, so sometimes I'll get a,
You're
a latte.
amazing. That you
I'm amazing
Yeah.
because of that.
because you're.
I've
vegan.
accomplished so much more in my life.
No, because
than
you're
figuring
vegan.
out-
I think
Oh.
it's so hard.
Oh, yeah,
it's just
not.
hard.
It's not.
Well, I know, but cheese is a big. I could probably give up fish. I mean, but cheese is a big problem
Yeah,
for me.
I don't know. I had
And
a lot of
eggs.
practice being anorexic.
Eggs.
not eating things.
Yeah.
I can really, I don't find it. And when you're doing it for a good cause and not because you want to be thin, it's even more rewarding.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Or easier to do, I guess. It's just like I can easily make things that's not for me. I don't get that. Like it's off limits.
Wait, say that again.
I can easily just say something like that's no more.
Yeah.
You don't get that anymore.
And that's really amazing.
Discipline, I guess.
It's discipline. Yeah.
But-
how you do that is
Thank God I have a certain type of brain that's good at that. But then in other ways, I'm not. I mean, I'm like, I still smoke weed and I wish I didn't do that. And, I still
gotta have something.
eat skinny pop way more. Like I still overindulge in things that I do allow myself to eat in
But
ways that
it's
are
not
grotesque.
overindulging if
No, that's the sneaky part. You cut out the things that are bad for you, and then
Yeah.
you overeat the healthy things to the point where you feel sick. I mean, no one should eat a whole thing of skinny pop. It's not because it's fattening or something, but I should not be consuming a whole bag of skinny pop
if
in
you're
one
not
day.
eating anything up until then, it's
I'm just
kind of
saying,
like a meal.
I understand why it happens. Yes, that it's happening because I'm hungry, but
Right.
it's not a good thing to do for my body. I would never feed a child that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would never be like, that's what I would feed Poppy for her whole lunch for the like. She'll just eat a monster size of skinny pop plus a bunch of other random bullshit. Like I would feed someone that I cared about better things than that. So I have things that I'm not that disciplined about, is what I'm saying.
Right, but I don't think every once in a while eating a bag of popcorn is.
No, I don't care
Really?
about it at all. Actually, Taylor the other day was here yesterday, and she was like, I just told Chris that yesterday I was hungover and I ordered a large Emo's pizza, and that's all I ate the whole day was that pizza. And she felt so disgusting. I go, but that makes sense. You probably didn't eat. That's why you got so drunk. 'Cause
You're
you didn't
starving.
eat the day before, and then you wake up the next
Yeah.
day and you're starving and hungover. Like,
Yeah.
you just want fats and like,
Right.
just let yourself have it. Who
Breads
gives a
and
shit?
cheese. Yeah, that's what you want.
You want what you want.
Go, Taylor, go.
Sometimes. And sometimes it makes you feel fucking sick, and
No,
then you go,
and then
maybe
you're
next
mad
time
at yourself.
don't do that.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Getting mad at yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I get over that?
Well, that's the tough part. The healthiest version of myself will just say, well, that girl that overdid it or fucked up and ate too much or like did this really bad thing, she was just trying her best. And that if you couldn't eat the whole bag of skinny pop, then
You really didn't do
wouldn't
your
have.
best.
No, then you wouldn't have. But you didn't have it in you to not eat it. You just had to eat it all, and that's just the way it goes. And maybe right now that you feel sick and you want to puke because you ate so much, remember this feeling and remember like where you could have stopped that this feeling wouldn't have happened. And maybe next time talk to yourself at that point and just wait a little bit.
I never eat until I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Really?
No.
Oh well, you. Don't
I mean, and I eat a lot. It's disgusting.
You've never felt like you were going to throw up because you ate so much?
Not really.
Oh well.
I
bet,
I feel like,
bet,
I kind of ate
I
too
bet
much.
probably 20% of women
But once again,
have that.
I do not
eating
throw
disorder.
up.
What?
I do not throw up.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. My mom does not throw up.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't get that feeling.
Well, have you ever tried? Did you ever try to be bulimic?
No.
Really?
No.
Was it not like a thing when you were a teen?
I know that
Did you know
I have
about
an
it?
aversion to throwing up, so I would
You'd rather be
never
fat.
try.
You had never tried it, even if you thought it worked.
No. No.
I think most women my age have it. Not. I'm going to say
Have
most
tried?
being 51%. Not all, but 50. Like that's not 51%. Not most.
Have tried to throw
more women of
Because
my
they ate
age
something.
and like socioeconomic status or whatever. However, I grew up American. Have tried to throw up their meal from feeling so disgusting because they ate too much.
I couldn't
But
do
also,
it.
but think a lot of times girls try to are bulimic, and it's not because they are going to throw up. They feel so sick they're going to throw up, even though that is a thing. I think it's just to get rid of it. But I have a lot of times been so sick that I'm like, oh my God. Like I make myself literally like I have food poisoning sick from eating too much.
I'm scared to throw up.
Yeah. So that's good. That's protected you from
Yeah,
maybe,
it has. It's like
overeating.
heroin. I probably would have done it.
Bethany Frankel says that she never eats. She doesn't like feeling full. So she never gets too full. And that's how she stays so thin is like she has an aversion to feeling full. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice thing
Boy,
to have.
let's get that into our brain.
Well, you almost have it. You have the aversion to throwing up. So being
Yeah, but
full
that's
will
not
lead
the
to that.
same. I
Yeah,
mean-
yours has a little.
It goes past
Yeah.
the full.
But speaking of Bethany Frankel, she sent me some wine that I'm going to give you.
Oh my God.
She sent me a suitcase that's
Why?
monogrammed with my name. I don't know. I did her podcast ages ago, but I just got it last week, so I don't know.
I would
when.
love it.
Yeah, it's her wine. I forget the name of it, but it's
Oh,
like
wow.
naturally young or something. It's like some kind of She has great branding.
She has wine. Well, she has
of
skinny.
course she does.
Skinny.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, but it's wine. There's a whole suitcase of wine.
So she owns a vineyard.
I love her.
Wait, you did her podcast?
Yeah, but ages ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a present from that because sometimes they'll send something for doing your podcast, their podcast, like a gift, which is always nice. But this just kind of came out of nowhere.
But it's
so
weird.
she might have just launched this wine and is just sending it to all of her friends
Got
or
it.
people that she's, might be like influential people.
Right.
But I'm gonna give it to you. We'll film a little video, put it on my story
love
to
it.
thank her. Okay,
Love
we'll go
it.
do that. Okay, thank you for listening to the podcast, Mom. Thank you for being here.
Oh God, thanks for asking me.
Thanks to Gilly for Gilligan's Island. That's her name, by the way. I don't think I said it. She's
We gotta
passed
find
out.
out. Oh, she's exhausted
Oh, I'm so
by
glad.
being cute.
Oh my God, it's so exhausting being this cute. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. Live shows coming up this weekend: Cleveland, Indianapolis. See you there. Then I think Massachusetts after that. So many tour dates. NikkiGlaser.com. I love when besties show up. I love you there. I love you. Thank you for listening to the show, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.